Welcome back, everyone. President Obama today honoring some of America's biggest names, bestowing the Presidential Medal of Freedom on more than a dozen people, including former President Bill Clinton, country singer Loretta Lynn, baseball great Ernie Banks, women's rights pioneer Gloria Steinem, and Oprah Winfrey. The Presidential Medal of Freedom is the nation's highest civilian honor. Congratulations. And earlier we told you about the president's sinking poll numbers. Turns out he's doing worse among women. The CBS News poll finding a 10% drop in his job approval rating among women, down to 39% from 49% last month. 54% don't like the job he's doing, and he owes his election to women. Brad Blakeman was a deputy assistant to President George W. Bush. Simon Rosenberg, president and founder of NDN, a left-leaning think tank, and a former Clinton presidential campaign advisor. All right, so women were so important, Simon, in this entire election. I mean, they're important in every election, but especially in this one. What do you make of this horrific slide, 10-point slide in 1 month's time?
Well, I think it reflects the general slide the president's been on. He's doing worse with all groups right now. I mean, he's clearly taken a big hit. He's at the lowest point of his presidency. And so I'm not surprised to see this, and in part because it's an issue, the issue that has driven down his numbers, health care, is something that is of particular concern to working moms and moms all around the country. So
yeah, it's not a
big surprise.
But then they should still like him, because remember the whole Sandra Fluck dust-up, Brad? I mean, this whole thing, a lot of the sales pitch of Obamacare was to women and getting birth control and having it paid for.
They've been let down, and the president's corner of the realm is his ability to get things done, his competence, and most importantly, his truthfulness, his veracity. And I think women have been let down, the same as youth and minorities have been let down by this president. And they're feeling it now. Everything they thought that he was, turns out he wasn't. And if you look at Governor Christie, in a blue state, who pushed him over the top? Women. Why? Because he was competent, he was a truth teller, he told it like it was, and he got the job done. And if Republicans can learn from that, I think the president is going to learn that he's got a big path to come back to regain the trust of not only women, but other groups that were his base.
All right, what about this? A Washington Post ABC News poll. If election were held today, Mitt Romney would beat President Obama 49% to 45%, an 8-point swing from the real election that we had back in 2012. Simon?
Well, the election isn't today. The election was a year ago. And, I don't think either political party today is where they want to be. Clearly, we just covered that the Democrats are
I think Mitt Romney would want to be there.
Well, it's good. The thing is, he's still at home or out in California. But the point is, the Republican Party is still 15 to 20 points lower than both Obama and Obamacare. And they don't want to be where they are either. Both parties have got to work hard to bring up their approval rating to be where they want to be going into the fall elections next year.
Well, what about the fact that President George W. Bush went on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno last night? I want to play a snippet of it, but Brad, my question to you out of it is going to be, was this strategic? It was finally safe for him to come out? Listen to this.
When the president had that heart scare, how scary was that?
It was scary.
Yeah.
It was very scary.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't that scared.
Was it, you had Obamacare?
A quick wit from everyone involved there on the show last night. But back to my point, Brad, was it safe for the president? He has said, I'm not going to criticize the man or woman who takes over the job from me. He hasn't. But was it safe because of what's been happening with Obamacare?
No, I don't think so. Jay Leno is not a hard-hitting news program like Fox News Sunday, and I think the president knows if he were to go on Chris Wallace's show, that would be something where he would have to talk about policy. And the president knows that the club that he was fortunate enough to be in is a very closed society, and that the president who's elected, we only have one at a time, deserves the ability to lead without being harped on by people who sat in that job before. So President Bush's appearance on Jay Leno, I think you're going to see more of it, because he is doing fantastic work as a private citizen. And I think he'll talk about that, but he's going to leave the policies to others to talk about.
Well, it's interesting because it made us think of those billboards that came out a few years ago. Miss me yet? Remember those that came out where a lot of people privately paid for those to come out. But he does look a lot more relaxed, and of course anybody would be after they're not leader of the free world anymore. Simon and Brad, thanks much for your time today. Have a fantastic week.
It's good to be here.
Thank you.
Own or work for a small business? how Obamacare could mean an end to your health plan. Plus, a congressman saying he's profoundly sorry and that he needs help after getting nabbed in a cocaine sting.
Congressman, do you have
No comment.
do you have
Let's
do you
go.
have anything to say? Is this related to your alcoholism? How is this tied to your
No
alcoholism?
comment.
We want to hear from you. What do you think about politicians getting in trouble for drugs and saying they're sorry and that they will get help? Is that enough? Tweet me at Gretchen Carlson. You can use the hashtag #TheRealStory. You can email us at TheRealStory@FoxNews.com. We, of course, always read your comments at the end of the show. Right back.